Heyo, this video didn't originally exist. I was busy typing away for a big Christmas video and a super secret surprise that I can't really show. When I saw that Belena Productions, who you may know for stuff like this,
Don't you love your children?
was setting up a Patreon as a final stand to preserve their channel. And much like the American spirit of WW2, I feel like I should do my part. Which means I actually need to talk about something. This channel has a little something for everyone. Whether it's funny Sonic skits, videos verified as hood classics according to Boopty-Doots9166, I think my strongest memories with this channel will always be Sonic Christmas. Plus, it's December, you probably should have seen this coming. So let's look at the one that started it all and why I love it so much. And only the one. There's still more of these. Please, just give me some slack. Please. The short itself has a really goofy premise. Essentially, Sonic and Tails visits the former's home for the holidays, much to the Blue Blur's embarrassment. Especially when the rest of the Sonic cast is invited, because yeah, well, why not? Right from the get-go, you get a feel that you're not supposed to take this all too seriously. It more so just takes the general beats of a Christmas special. You know, the grumpy guy who learns to appreciate the holidays, that villain who always tries to ruin said holidays, all that, you know? And says, yeah, we're just gonna be goofy. It's a little slow to start things up, and there's the only really bad joke that I actually dislike. Sheesh, you could really tell that this was made during the 2010s. But I swear, it gets really funny after this. I'm a big fan of the really off-the-wall comedy here. Like, come on, this has the best Sonic character Soras from the Planet 2! Now, is Sonic kind of a dick? I mean, yeah, there's never really a good explanation outside of the whole embarrassment angle, but again, the tongue-in-cheek nature of the short really sells on how much of this I'm supposed to take this seriously, which is not very. It's not like in Sonic Prime where Sonic's supposed to be likable, but comes off as annoying more often than not, souring my experience towards everything in the show as a result. Here, it's more of a Sonic Boom situation. Yeah, some things may not make the best of sense, but damn it, it's funny and it makes me smile, so I'm sitting here and I'm watching. As a matter of fact, this short is really funny. There's just so many fun scenes that get stuck in my brain to this day. Knuckles playing a big brain move on Rouge, Shadow rivaling Mr. Ratatouille for best chef, Sonic not having any attempts of Amy's flirting. This is comedy, baby! These jokes work to add to this Christmassy goodness. And even with all these nudges and prods, there's just something charming with how these characters interact, and the inclusion of lesser known characters that could have been good if you really wanted to, like Blaze and the Chaotix. Hell, they even squeezed in Sonic's family from Sonic Underground. You know, the show with the hardest intro known to man.
Seer ones of a deadly fate, give up your children, separate. Bide your time, lie in wait. Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground.
And yet it looked like this. But no Silver the Hedgehog, he wasn't invited to this one. Don't worry, you're the best character in this entire series, buddy. They didn't need to do this, but they did anyway because they cared. It's nice to see just watching the Sonic cast be the Sonic cast and not have someone say, oh wow, Sonic sure has a lot of characters. They're good. These are some good fun characters. I think the only sin that this and the rest of the series in general commits is never introducing Cream and her mom in these. I would have loved to see their interpretations in this universe. I mean, come on, you got Peak right here, baby. Fine, I guess you get a pass when you get the best character in the entire series, but that's for a different time, for another day. But I'm auntie. And even taking all this aside, it takes less than a minute to really show how good these voices are. Like, damn! I speak from the heart. I really love all the voices here. They match the characters ridiculously well. It's borderline uncanny. It really sells the comedy because of that. Whenever the absurd hits, it makes it all the more jarring to see genuinely great voice acting here. It's like Sonic Boom. You've heard these characters before again and again, but that show breathed a new life to them. But on to the art. First most blatant aspect is something that I like to call the good bad effect. You see, this looks pretty rough. It's practically an animatic with no animation. What's the point of watching this? How am I supposed to watch this? There's no color here. How am I supposed to watch this? And to that, I say, I don't care. Sure, it's not inherently polished, but gosh darn it, the art itself is so well done and good that it makes that rough quality shine to something even more charming. These guys are so expressive and on model that there's enough skill to back up and support the clarity of each scene, which is kind of the point of an animatic to begin with, so they did their job well, guys. I know this is extremely subjective, but it's like looking into the Jungle Book or The King and the Sword. I'm actually one of those freaks who prefers that sketchy look over clean animation more often than not. There's an inherent charm that you can only get when stuff looks like this. It was a charm in the internet when things were allowed to be messy and extremely flawed and look like this. Especially compared to now. You 8-year-olds have no idea how good you've had it with Helluva Boss and Digital Circus and Indie Cross, man. Look at that, that's impressive. I'm not downplaying anyone here. I think it's subjective, as I said. I just really appreciate just stuff that looks like this. We need more stuff that looks like this and doesn't get called bad, you know? So right from the get-go, I'm grooving with this. I think the only issue I really have is that some of the sound design is a bit lackluster? It's not bad, it gets the job done, but there's some jokes that I think could have landed harder with a funnier sound effect. But it's not that big of a deal. The voices carry the short, as I mentioned, so the occasional use of a sound effect that I've heard a dozen times isn't gonna kill me. Except maybe the Wilhelm scream, but I've grown numb and therefore immune to it by now. Outside the occasional minor bump in this otherwise smooth road, this is fun. Like, I need to emphasize that this is one of my favorite Christmas and Sonic things ever. To have a nearly yearly tradition of one of these coming around the next corner, it was nice. It's a feeling that never really goes away. And so when I'm in a mood to relight that youthful part of my soul, especially with the uncertain path animation and entertainment in general is heading, believe me, I think the creator feels this more than anyone. And to everyone who poured their heart and entertained the many, from the bottom of my own heart, thank you. Now, Mr. Electric, give this man some money so he can make more! Hey, this is me. I figured that I should start talking at the end of these, you know. But anyways, this means a ton to me. And to see a fellow creative get screwed over because YouTube is being a poopy head is heart-shattering. So please, even if you don't care for my stuff or have no money to give at the moment, sharing the message about Belina Productions Patreon would mean the world to me.